Hi, let's spend a few minutes going over these worksheets that you got. Let's make sure that you understand the notation for the definitions and the different pictures. So here's the first one and your set of handouts. Let's go over these down here. So here we have array. Remember, array extends forever in the one direction, and when we name array, we always start with the endpoint. It goes in the direction of y, and we always put this notation on top. DE is the segment. We use the segment bar on top, or we could have gone with ED. It doesn't matter. It's just the segment that has E and D as its endpoints. These are points. Just using the capital letters means that we know that we're talking about points. Here's a line, WX, with the line symbol on top, or of course we could have gone with XW. The order doesn't matter, it's just the line containing these 2 points, just like the line CD next to it. Here's array. Just like we saw in number 1, this ray starts at L though, goes in the direction of point M, and we always have the same notation on top. It doesn't matter if your ray is pointing the other way. JK are the endpoints of this segment. R, V, and O are all the points here, and this is ray HI. The next group here gives us a diagram, and then what we have to do is write what we see in words and in symbols. Well, if you were to say that out loud, you would call point, but we can just call it going to the symbol. This you would say line segment or segment, BC. Now I do like to say segment because as soon as the line is kind of spoken or written, then my mind goes to this picture over here on the right. But that's a segment, so you can just abbreviate it that way, and of course it's BC with the bar. Here we have ray, DE, and it goes from D in the direction of E, the little thing on top. Here we have line, FG. Now notice each time we say either segment, ray, or line, we're not using the word and in between the points. You can say this is the segment with the endpoints at points B and C, but if you're saying segment BC, it just comes out like that, FG. When we move on down here, this is a line HI. Point J, we can just call J. LK or KL, whoops, yeah. And I reversed my directions, didn't I? Segment KL or LK. Ray starting at M, going in the direction of M, so that's ray MN. And then the last few, line OP. When we write the word line, we don't do the notation, so you had to quickly erase it, but you caught me. OP, ray QR. So this is really the only guy where the order of your letters matters, the order of the points. Segment SEGMENT, segment TU, and of course that notation is TU with the bar on top. Down here we're going to draw pictures for each guy. That's a segment. Now I know I always start my segment like this, and you guys probably do also, but don't go and add in new points for W and X. That point is W and that point is X. Put it real close to the point too so we don't get confused. Here's array. The initial starting point there, that endpoint is Y, goes in the direction of Z. Your ray could go anywhere. Here is a line. I'm going to put 2 points on that line and name them A and B. And for a picture for point C, there it is. Okay, for this next page, we're going to name this line 3 different ways. Even though our line has 3 points, we never use 3 points to name a line. It's too much. It's overkill, so you're going to pick two. Maybe you're going to pick PQ. And then you can name it that way. We could have gone in the reverse order, and that's fine also. Or maybe pick two different letters, maybe PR. Those are all ways to name the line. If we want to name 3 rays, maybe you want to name QR and QP. Those guys are opposite rays, so let's go with that. QR and QP, opposite rays. Those are those rays where they have the same endpoint and they go in opposite directions. So together they make a line. But maybe you want it to start at R, and although you could have a ray going to the right, we can't name it in this picture. So we are going to go to the left, and maybe we will have ray RP. That works also. And this is the picture of ray RP, goes that way. 3 line segments. So I'm going to have PQ, that's this piece, QR, and from R all the way to P, so that's RP or PR, it doesn't matter. Those are all segments. The next little chunk says give 3 names for this line. Again, just kind of come up with whatever letters you want to. O. And the real difference, the exercise here in recognizing that these are all the same. So as soon as somebody on their paper calls this line OM, if you have line MN, we need to recognize that it's the same thing. The other thing is we want to know that the notation between these 3 things is different. Maybe you're going to go with starting at N going this way. So you'll go ray N O. Maybe we'll go from M this way, and that could be M N or MO, it doesn't matter, those are the same ray. And maybe we'll start at O and go this way, I'll call that ON. 3 line segments, well, I have this piece on the left, piece on the right, and then of course the entire thing. So MN, NO, and OM. Notice I use the same exact letters as up above, the same points, but what makes it completely different is the notation. So I'm going to use that segment notation. Next up. So for these guys here, let's see, we're going to name a ray. Okay, so this ray, if it's not a ray, cross it out. It's not that, it's not that. This ray starts at J. This guy starts at J, J in the direction of K, and so does this one. Those are our answers. This guy is a line, which means that's no good and that's no good because those are rays. All of these other ways are lines that used 2 of the points. So that's correct. Here we have a line segment, so if you're not a line segment, you're not the answer. Now we want the entire line segment. So that means anything that uses F is not it, because we want to go from E to X. So we want to go from point E to point X, so that's segment EX, or segment XE. You want the entire thing. Here it is. And, ooh, F, 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 no good. FE, FX, and EF. Oh, these are above each other. That's our only one. Moving on. Okay. So now for this guy here, we have, let me show you the top of the handout. Another line SZ. So I find line SZ and I pick any other pair of points. I could even pick S if I want to, but I am going to go with RW and of course name it a line. 5 rays that have the same beginning point. 1, 2, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go with starting here at W. All of my rays are going to start at W since they want the same initial point. And just so I make sure I have a ray. And I'm going to go with ray WR, WX, WY, WZ, and WU is that last one. 2 pairs of intersecting lines. Well, I see lines crisscrossing here and intersecting at S. One of those lines is TV, and it's a line. The other line is, I'll call it SR. I can pick any 2 points. And then here I also have 2 lines, this line and this line, right? Those guys are going to intersect. So I'm going to go with XU. I could have used the W if I wanted to, and RZ. Any 2 points on that line work. 6 line segments that lie on SZ. So now I can only use this line here. pick any pairs of points. So I'm going to go with SR. The next little piece is RW. I can go with WZ. Maybe I'm going to do the entire thing of SZ, or maybe I'm going to do this piece of 2, SW, and maybe RZ. So that's that. This guy down here, name 2 segments that are parallel to AC. Well, let me kind of highlight AC. If I am parallel, then I am going to go the same direction in the same plane. Well, the top plane has DB, and the bottom plane has FE. I could have also gone diagonal. Sorry, excuse me. And I could have gone with GH. They're saying line segments. I'm going to use the segment bar. Segments that include point F. Here's point F. So I have 1, 2, 3. So FC, FE, and FG, and there we have that. Name 2 line segments that are perpendicular to BH. Here's BH. So perpendicular, actually this one here on the bottom, this guy and this guy. So a bunch of different correct answers. I'll go with AB and HE in the back. So now I'm going to use parallel and perpendicular to complete this. CD in the front and FG on the bottom. Those guys are parallel. I'm going to go down. EH. So EH across the back and FG across the front. Those guys are parallel. DG. So DG down the right side here and CD up top. Oh, those guys look perpendicular. AE. So AE, oh, that vertical line in the back, and DG. DG, oh, another vertical line, so go across the middle and or diagonally, and those are on the same plane, so that's perpendicular. So now I'm going BH, that's this dark guy over here, and AB across the top. Those guys look perpendicular to me, and AC on the left, and CD. Oh, so if we were to look down on the top of the box, I know we have a strange angle here, but yes, those guys are perpendicular. Going over the last handout that we have, we're going to draw these. I'm thinking I am going to, starting at P, direction of B, PB, AG, GF, line L, line, let's see, here's line L, and G is on line L, plane M, A, B, and C are collinear. Plane ABC, when I name a plane, they have to be 3 points that will make a triangle. They have to be non-collinear. Non-collinear points, G, E, and F. Hopefully you can see them. I'm going quickly. Line L and A, so line. This line's L, that line's A, and they intersect here at H. Line A and L are in plane M. So here's plane M, sorry. Here's plane M, and there's point. So here I have 2 planes intersecting at a line. I'm going to make that book. Going quickly here, sorry. So there's A, G, that's a line. Here's fancy P and fancy Q. This last one here is a plane. I'm going to name that plane M. A and B are on it, and C is not. 3 lines are coplanar. Whoops, coplanar and meet at Z. Oh. And I'm going to make that, they're coplanar, A, B, and C. And here we have RS and T are in plane M. Plane M, RS and T, RST, ... and here's W that is not in plane M.